All right, what is up, Cancers? This is for you. This is for the Cancer Collective, and this is a general reading slash intuitive messages. For the Cancer Collective. So let's just hop right into it, and we'll see what your vibe is. We're doing a vibe check, or kind of see what sort of general energies you're working with for this particular time period. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to title this, if they're going to be weeklies, bi-weeklies, or monthlies, but whenever you stumble upon them is, I believe when it was meant to find you. So let's see what your overall theme is for this time period, Cancer Collective. So this is for you if you've got Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon, Cancer Rising. Maybe you could also watch for Cancer Venus. All right, Cancer, you're pulling in Aquarius. That's interesting. Let's see what else we are gonna find. Okay, we've got Pisces Moon also wanting to come through. All right. They're saying to do one more. Okay, you asked to do one more. Alright, there we go, Libra Sun. Alright, interesting. Very interesting, Cancer. 2 air signs and a water sign. So, although you did pull sun sign energies, of course this is for the Cancer sun sign. But it's interesting to me that as a Cancer sun sign, you are pulling in Aquarius sun sign and Libra sun signs as well. And you've got a Pisces moon here. So this may be applicable to you. You may be a Cancer sun sign with a Pisces moon. So this could be even more for you than maybe for others. For others of you, you could be dealing with an Aquarius sun or a Libra sun, or also could be dealing with a person who has strong moon, Pisces in moon placements. So the Aquarius sun card came out first, and now we've got the Pisces and then we've got the Libra. Now these are interesting because these are very powerful signs in their own right, in their own respective rights. Libra is a cardinal sign, same as you are, Cancer, and Aquarius is a fixed sign and Pisces is a mutable sign. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and it is from the 12th. It's the 12th zodiac, or also could be seen as the 12th house. And this is 7th house. Libra is ruled by Venus, right? I did ask you before these came out to also maybe check for your Venus placement. So maybe some of you may have a Cancer in your Venus, or you may have Libra in your Venus, or like Libra somehow aspected in your readings. Then here we've got Aquarius, which is Uranus, and it is the 11th house. Well, It's interesting. I'm getting so many things here that I'm not exactly sure, like, in which direction to sort of go with this. But Aquarians are typically known to be very um, independent people, also known to be humanitarians. We are also living through the age of Aquarius, right? So there's a lot that comes with this vibration. This vibration for me represents it represents eccentricities. Um, you may be a Cancer sign person, but you may be very eclectic or very, eccentric in the way you present yourself or the way you carry yourself. You may not carry yourself like a Cancer person would be expected to carry yourself. So people may think that, oh, Cancers are, very sentimental, very sensitive, very emotional, all of those things, right? Clingy, needy, and all of those things, right? However, in your case, you may be one of those Cancers who really come across as very emotionally detached, right? That's not to say that you are emotionally detached, but that may be like one way in which sometimes maybe people perceive you in that lens, that you come across like very cold, right? Very cold, very closed off, or very just emotionally detached, right? But also people may see you in the same light. Some people may see you in that sense, right? What we just described, but kind of also on the same token, see that as a form of strength or a form of independence that you may have, right? So it's kind of like maybe people may say to you like, oh, Cancer is very cold. Cancer, it doesn't show a lot of emotion, or Cancer doesn't wear their emotions on their sleeve. They're like, they seem very detached, or some people may even use words like, no, they seem very strong, very independent, very self-sufficient. Of somebody who lives in their authenticity or in their truth, or very forward thinking. Also, you could be somebody who embodies a lot of forward thinking. Like, you could just be so forward thinking, or very revolutionary, or very innovative in your thinking, in your way of being, or the way that you live or carry yourself. um, is one way that I'm also being asked to interpret this. But then on the other hand of this, also people see you as somebody who is very fair and very just. Like, um, all of these things people may say may be true, but then also people will say at the same time that you are somebody who's considerate, somebody who is fair, somebody who is just. If a situation is presented to you, you're somebody who, you don't let your emotions get in the way. You kind of look at the facts, and you look at the statistics of something, and you kind of assess what is the best way to go about, or what is the best route to do something. Um, so yeah, so people see you as not somebody who, you will not just take sides with somebody just for the sake of taking sides, or just for the sake of loyalty. You kind of always want to be on the side that does the right thing, or that always strives to do the right thing, or the fair thing, or the just thing, or the correct thing to do. And so people, I think they kind of value that about you, Cancer collective. I think it's definitely a trait or quality that people value about you, is that you are somebody who is fair. You listen to both sides of the stories, or both sides of the situation, whether this is in relationships or friendships or work, and and you just, say your truth. You say your truth. You say your mind based on maybe the facts that you were given, right? And this is something that people sort of really appreciate about you a lot. Um, but people also see you as somebody who is very perceptive, right? And this is this, Pisces moon. So I think people see you as a very well balanced, right? Because Libra definitely is the scales of balance. So I do see that people see you as somebody who is also kind of, you balance your emotions and your logic very well. So you may perceive something emotionally, or you may get a nudge or a hint on people's personalities, or a situation that's presented to you, but then you kind of proceed in a very logical manner, right? So it's kind of like you listen to your feelings, you follow your intuition, but then you still use your logic to explain the thing that you are sensing, or to explain the thing that you are intuitively feeling, right? But I feel like you do this thing in a very balanced manner, in a very fair manner, in a very just manner. And you also sometimes communicate it in a way that's very unheard of, or in a way that's very um, innovative, or very forward thinking, very future kind of, kind of like very, very futuristic, right? Or you could also do it from the perspective of humanity. So you could reason, or give logic in a way that benefits your community, or benefits society or humanity, right? Because these are things that Aquarian energy represents. Now they're asking me to look at the top of the deck, and when we look at the top of the deck, we have the ninth house, which represents, philosophy and education and adventure. And this is the house of Sagittarius, by the way. So people may see you as someone who is very well educated. You may be very well educated in so you may have studied philosophy, or you may have studied psychology, or you may have studied some sort of social sciences, or something that, just philosophy, or you may even be working in the education sector, or you're a teacher, or could be a teacher, or considering to be a teacher, right? But I think that you have a wealth of knowledge, based on education, or based on life experience, and the adventures of life, that kind of, I think people value you for that, or people know that about you, or um, desire that, right? Um, so by desiring that, it could also be a thing of like people want to partner with you, or people want to work with you, in order to kind of maybe learn from you, or to see how your knowledge or your life experience will benefit them, or will benefit, you know, their community, or your community, or the collective's community, right? But I'm also seeing, or I'm being shown on the other end of the token, also an energy of theft, or an energy of stealing, or piracy, or what's the word when somebody uses someone's word and they work and they don't give them credit. This happens especially in academics, like when you don't, reference your sources, like plagiarism, right? So I am also kind of picking up something like that, where there are people who admire your education, your wisdom, your knowledge, but then I also see a darker force that also is in the mix of that maybe does not want to give you your credit, or does not want to acknowledge how good you are at something, or has kind of been trying to dim your light, or not wanting to basically just give credit for how good you are at something, maybe giving you your credits in terms of your education, or in terms of what you can do. But I'm also seeing that same dark force that is in the mix of things could be in the form of a person, or in the form of people, or a group, or an organization, if that's what you work for, that maybe there's a thing of like an identity theft, or intellectual theft, or plagiarism, or not giving credit where credit is due, right? So we'll see. Maybe the tarot is going to confirm that, because that's what I'm kind of hearing from my guides. And yeah. But I definitely see you as somebody who balances your emotions and your logic very well. I think you're somebody who is very perceptive and also very future thinking, very innovative in your processes, your thought processes, how you process life, how you process information. All of that stuff is definitely something people admire about you, or also maybe envy about you. And I feel like you have a very powerful intuition, especially a Pisces, a moon in Pisces. You could be somebody who is very prophetic, very prophetic. You may be a reader, right? You may be a reader, as in like a tarot reader, or a spiritualist, or a religious person, or prophet. But I feel like you're somebody who is able to maybe see, into the second or third, heavens, like very perceptive, just a very powerful intuition, especially that moon energy being in Pisces, right? Very potent. But I feel like this is an ability or a gift that you use very well. And I feel like the guides, God, the universe, I think takes pride in this for you, or they're like is proud of you for how you handle this responsibility, or maybe the superpower, I want to say. Yeah. Yeah. But all of this kind of sort of came up right, so that's fine. But if you really want to kind of also just turn things around for the sake of turning things around, um, or kind of look at it from a self developmental, you know, shadow work kind of perspective, you could also look at it as that maybe you need to trust your intuition more. Um, um, or that you maybe kind of need to look at your life, or look at people in a way that's more fair, or more just, or more balanced, especially with Libra in the seventh house, like your relationships, your friendships, work, things like that. And in Aquarius also, it could also maybe be an invitation for you to reassess your life and kind of maybe make new adjustments or new changes in your life as you maybe see fit in terms of what you want to make manifest for your future, right? But that's if you kind of want to look at it from a more self-development, shadowy side kind of, perspective, right? But that's not really the strongest vibration I'm getting. The strongest vibration I'm getting is that you are somebody who is very evolved. Let's try and close this for the Cancer Collective. Seeing, not sure what to do about that. It kind of just fell out. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. Yeah, so here we have the Nine of Cups. All right, so you see, it's something that you do really, really, really well. As far as your emotions and feelings are concerned, I think you're somebody who harnesses that energy, and you represent this energy very, very well, right? People may see you as like somebody who has really mastered your feelings, your emotions. You could be somebody who's really, really perceptive. Like, look at all of these cups behind this person. It's almost like they've kind of mastered the cups, and this is sort of like their reward. And now they're kind of like sitting in front of them as a way of like, yeah, I've mastered all of these cups, and I'm sort of like the master when it comes to like feelings and emotions. And the Nine of Cups is great because it is, followed by the Ten of Cups, which represents, almost a destiny fulfilled, right? Almost like joy, really almost reaching that tail end of the suit of cups, right? And it comes before, or it comes after the Eight of Cups, which the Eight of Cups represents a man who is walking away from a situation, leaving all of their cups behind, right? And so it's almost as if like you've come from the Eight of Cups into a situation where you are finally at peace with who you are, what you know, what you do, your abilities, your gifts, and your callings. All right? They're also saying to mention to you that this is the Nine of Cups, and also again, this ties to the ninth house, which is the education that they were talking about, the philosophy, the psychology, all of that stuff that they were talking about is being confirmed by the Nine of Cups, showing that yes, it is true indeed that you have mastered that you are somebody who is valued and appreciated, or seen for your, your perceptions and your intuition, your strong, intuitive abilities. People come to you, they consult you when they have, psychological, philosophical, or just like life situations, relationships, even, So you could be dealing with people in that capacity, and you apply yourself, right? This is just really so perfect because it's almost as if like people come to you for your gift, for your calling, for your thing that you do so well, and you kind of sit in this position and you apply your perception, your intuition, your God-given abilities, and then you kind of think about what is the right thing to do, what is the fair thing to do, and then what is the delivery of that process, right? And so this card is just coming to confirm exactly everything that they were alluding to earlier. Yeah, and I apologize if this one is a little bit too long. Usually I try to keep them under 20 minutes. All right. Yeah, so there's the Knight of Cups, recognition. I think this is recognition for a job well done. What was this? Yeah, new beginnings. I think you're definitely somebody who's really, really blessed. More is coming here with the Two of Wands, right? So I feel like you're somebody who you've just mastered your feelings and your emotions, the Suit of Cups, as they were saying. And you've reached a level of mastery where you are maybe seen in your community as a knight, for lack of the emperor or lack of the empress energy or lack of the high priestess energy. You may be seen as a knight in your community, right? People come to you as, the knight in armor who come, you come to the rescue of people's emotions and feelings. And so I think that there's this recognition for that. And I feel like with the Ace of Cups here, that this may be your calling. This may be that this is what God has given you. And I feel like you have stepped into that role, or you're stepping into that role or into that position. And I feel that the more you do so, the more the rewards also come back to you, or the more the recognition, comes back to you, right? It's almost as if like God is saying you're doing a wonderful job, or you're going to be doing a great job, and that there will always be protection for you, and there will always be provision for you, right? Because even though this person has all of these cups behind them and they look like their cups are really full and fulfilled, God is also promising you that that He will continue to pour into you until your cup overflows, for as long as you continue to stay in your purpose, stay in your true authentic self, and stay in doing what is, your calling. All right? That's what I'm getting here. So I feel like this is all really, really just beautiful, and just be on the lookout. Make sure to just, keep your prayers up, and just make sure you always do the right thing. I think that for as long as you practice your Libra energy in all its fairness, God will continue to provide protection and provision for you as you move into your future. All right? All right, so that's all I have for y'all here, Cancer Collective, and thank you so much for engaging with the space. And if you've kind of watched all the way to the end, thank you so much for that. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more of this. All right, take care, all the best, and I'll see you guys in the next one.